Terrific. And in the little warm-up packet, page number 9. Good evening, everyone. Let me get another chair, too. I wouldn't fit. We're going to start with the Neue Liebeslieder, number 14. And again, today, no language. We'll start using the German next week. By the end of this evening, we will have been over all but 5 of the German pieces, note-wise. So we will start adding text to it next week. There will be guideline tapes or recordings on the Padlet that will help with pronunciation. And they'll be in a separate folder that's just for pronunciation. So they'll be easy to find that way. The things that are on the Padlet, by a very short time from now, everything should be up with the exception of the final Elgar piece, which I am still working on because it turned out to be much more complicated than expected. The first two Elgar pieces, the orchestrations that Elgar wrote, match exactly. I just got signed off on Zoom. I just got signed off. But I'm still there, so. But it just came and said I was signed off because I was signed in on another account or another device. We're having some strange issues with Zoom. Anyway, the Elgar, it turns out that the final movement, the Marksman, when he orchestrated that in the purely orchestral version, he changed it a lot. Measures are missing, there are extra measures there are key changes that don't exist in the choral version, there are key changes in the choral version that don't exist in the orchestral. So it's taking longer to get it done than I expected because I started doing it all right off the orchestral version and it was fine until I compared it, listening to it, looking at the choral parts and realized that they were nothing like it. So those will be up shortly. But number 14, we start out with sopranos and altos, just those two parts. La-ma-na-da. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Good, one more time, just sopranos, here we go. Da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da. Altos, here we go. Da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da. Both parts, da da, 1 and da. Going on. And then we're back to the same thing that we had at the beginning. Both parts singing the soprano line from measure 11. 10, thank you. Da, 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 1 and da. Da, 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 da. Next one. Da, 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 da. Good. And it's the same thing for altos, just that last high note is down an octave. So separate parts now, starting with sopranos. Da, 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 1 and da. Da, 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 da. Good. Just altos. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go over that. Altos, starting in measure number. The numbers are so tiny. Measure 40. Ready, one, and here we go. Ready, one more time for the B flat, one, and And sopranos, remember that this is a place where there is a misprint in the music. So at measure 40, it should read, and we've got it correct, E, G, F, E, D, B flat, A, G sharp A, C, B, B, and sopranos, right at measure 40. One, and both parts backing up to measure 30. One, and That's it. And Linda, you may want to take a look at your computer, the one up here. It's doing something. Right from the beginning, soprano alto. Yeah. And we'll do this with the accompaniment. And we'll go at a fairly relaxed tempo. One, and and then we're all into the next spot where tenors and basses join us. Sopranos and tenors going on from there. Measure 47. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Oh, should we move? Would it be help to move the piano a little bit? All right, soprano tenor, back at measure 47. Da, da. 1, 2, 3, and da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. And altos and basses from measure 47. 1, 2, 3. Da, da. Da, da, da. Da, 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 and da, 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 da. Good, slowly, just the parts at measure 47, all four. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. Do you want?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. She cannot breathe.
So 47. Just the, oh yeah. One, two, three, here we go, and. Good. Very beginning of the whole thing, yes. Around 62. 79, yes. Is the D natural going to the D sharp in the next measure? Yes. Can you play from 77, the bass part?
I'm sorry. 70.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, yes. Number 77, measure 77, where there's a rest, it should be another F natural. And for all parts in measure 82, you should have the same word underlay as the sopranos. The last syllable is missing from alto, tenor, bass. Slowly, from the very beginning of 14. Standing up, everybody. One, two, three. And eventually this will bounce along at a much faster rate. As compared to the next one, number 15, which is of all of the Brahms pieces, probably the most sustained. And this is it's really a feeling of 9. Though sort of a huge 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, sopranos and altos, right where you come in, that second measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. And one. Good. Tenors and basses, same place. Da, da, 1, 2, 3, and da. Da, 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 and da. Da, 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 da. 2, 3, rest, sopranos and altos going on. And tenor. Da, 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 da. All four parts. And 1, 2. Going on 1, 2, 3, sopranos. Good. And backing up to that second section, starting with sopranos and tenors. This is measure 10. 1 and sopranos. Da, 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 da. And in the little section from measures 15 or 14 and 15, watch like crazy for the accidentals, because they shift all over the place. And whatever is the most productive way for you to mark them, you know, circle them with an arrow up, or whatever works best for you. Altos and basses, starting with basses on the pickup to measure 11. Da, 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 and we get that little slither. 1, 2, 3, bass, and da, 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 da. 1 and 2 and alto. Good. All 4 parts, starting with sopranos in measure 12. Yep. Altos right there, measure 13. 1 and da 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 da. Good. Starting with soprano. It's back at 12. 1 and da. Oh, 10. Sorry. 1 and da. Good. Going on, soprano, alto. 1 and soprano. One and 2 and 1, 2 sopranos. Da, 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 da. And tenors and basses from measure 18. Da, da. 1 and bass. Da, 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 All 4 parts from measure 18. 1 and soprano. very beginning of 50. Let's see. Yeah, which measure? 21. No, tenor parts are all.
Was there a dot or something that wasn't supposed to be there?
No, that was in another piece, I think.
What is this? What does that mean?
There's not supposed to be a dot there.
Okay. That's what you crossed out.
Yeah, this one doesn't have a dot.
Okay. Well, for anybody who does.
Tenor is if in measure 21, your second note has a dot. It shouldn't. It should just be a half note. Some of the copies appear to have them, some do not. Here we go, very beginning of number 15. 1, 2, 3. And tenor, da da bass da 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 da. Sopranos, da 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 da. So you can see that the accompaniment gives you the chordal structure, but doesn't necessarily give you the lines in this one. Some of the pieces they do, This one is much more independent, that the voices really are much more on their own. Want to jump to the Sullivan piece, Fair Daffodils. And that's the next to last one if you're still in the same order that the music was. About 4 pages from the end or so. And basses, your first note should not be an F, but should be an E flat. It's correct in the accompaniment, not in the bass part, though. Sopranos and basses. Sopranos start us off. 1, 2, 3. That we weep to meet you always so soon, that at the early rising sun has not attained. We weep to see you just away too soon, and yet the early rising sun hath not attained his noon. Stay, stay until the listening day, the hastening day has run but to the evening sun, the noon and dawn. Stay, stay on, has run but to the evening song, and having together we will go with you along, and having played, we will go with you along. Altos and tenors. We, 1, 2, 3. We weep to see you haste away so soon, as yet the early rising sun has not attained his noon. 1 and weep to see you haste away so soon, and yet the early sun has not noon. Stay, stay until the hastening day, the hastening day has run but to the evening sun, the evening song. Stay, stay. The day has run but to the evening song. In grace together we will go with you along, and having prayed together we will go with you along. And altos, I think we'll take mainly the bottom note there, because the sopranos have the upper E flat at the very end. Traditional voice leading says it should go up, but he added the extra note to fill out the chord, so. Sopranos and tenors. We 1, 2, soprano. We weep to see you haste away so soon, and yet the early rising sun has not attained his noon. Good. Altos and basses, same right at the beginning. Pick up to the second full measure. We see 1, 2, 3. We weep to see you haste away so soon, as yet the early rising sun hath not attained his noon. Good. All 4 parts. 4, 1, 2, soprano, 4. We weep to see you haste away too soon, and the early rising sun has not attained his going on. 4. We weep to see you haste away so soon, and yet the early rising sun hath not yet his moon. Good. On that second page, soprano alto, and yet the early rising sun. Pick up to the fourth measure, second page. As yet. As. 1, 2, 3. As yet the early rising sun has not. Say, stay until the sting day. Has run but to the evening song, the evening songs. Good. Tenors and basses, same place. Pick up to the fourth measure. As 1, 2, 3. As yet the early rising sun has but attained his noon. Stay, stay until the hasty day, the hastening day has run through the evening song, the evening song. Just listen from the second line through the third line. Just listen to those, where those chords go. So from the second line. So, this, yeah.
Oh, from here.
Yeah.
4 of them.
Yeah. doesn't necessarily go where you expect it to. So, second line there, not attained. Knock, knock, knock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not attained his room. Stay, stay until the hastening day. The hastening day has run but to the evening sun. Evening sun. Stay, stay until the day has run but to the evening sun. And they together we will go with you along, and having played together we will go with you along. It's not uncommon in these part songs. It's sort of a four-part thing here. First part, A, and then it repeats. And then we have the little bridge, and then we sort of come back to something similar to what we had at the beginning. It's not at all uncommon in these part songs for the bridge to suddenly throw monkey wrenches at you. It's as though the composers wanted to prove a little something. You know, I can make this very pretty tune. Now I'm going to make you think. So just be ready that that's going to happen. We are going to take a little break, and when we come back, the piece we're going to look at is the McDowell Barcarolle. And for that, we break into 8 parts. So, we won't do the entire piece today. We're just going to do part of it. But I'd like us to set up so that firsts for both sopranos and altos are on the outer edges, so you're closest to the windows. Seconds are by the aisle. And tenors and basses, I'll let you figure out where you would like to sit. For tenors, there's only 2 of you here today. Basses, if we could do probably 3 and 3, I think that would be good. So let's take just about 10 minutes and stretch and recover from. I think we're going to do it in English. I think it was supposed to be in English originally, but did you get that extra page? Yes. Good, thank you. I'm complete. I wonder what happened. That's very strange.
38, there was no 39 or whatever.
That's
A reminder again, when people ask a question, to at least say what measure it is for people coming in.
Thank you. Linda is pretty good about typing it in, so she does help with that. But I don't always remember. Thank you.
No problem.
How are you, sir?
I have to pretend I'm singing Barbara. Figure out what
Okay. Here we go, McDowell. So firsts on the outside, seconds on the inside. Altos, for the first page, you all start together. Here we go. Just altos. Da, da. Very slowly. 1, 2, 3, alto. Da, da. Good. All right. And ignore where it has some rests in the second measure, second system. Ignore those.
So you want all the altos singing,
All altos on all of that, yes.
even though you're more than
Sopranos. You start out split. Do, mi, first, second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Altos and sopranos. Do, alto, soprano 2, soprano 1. Way up there. 1, 2, 3, and da. Good. Tenors and basses. And for the first little bit, we're all together. No divisi. Da, 1 tenor. Da, 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 one more time, tenors and basses. Da, da, 1 and tenor. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. All, I guess it's 5 parts at this point. 1, 2, 3, soprano, alto. bass baritone. From the pickup to the second measure on, that's da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, and da, 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 da. Tenor, 1 and 2, pick up 2, that second measure. Da, da, 1, 2, 3, and ta, 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 basses and tenors. One, two. From the pickup to the second measure on that second page, or page 3. Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, and da. Da, 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 One more time, tenor bass. 1, 2, 3, and da, 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 altos, pick up to that second measure. 1, 2, 3, and da. Good. One more time. And careful when we go back to, on that last measure, that we're back with the D flats there. Ready? Pick up to that second measure. 1, 2, 3, and. Da, 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 da. And if you notice, alto, both parts, the second alto, you start out doubling the top tenor part, And then in the last measure, you're doubling the tenor 2 part. So there's lots of overlap here. Sopranos. 1, 2, 3, and. Da, 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 da. Good. One more time, sopranos. 1 and 2 and. Da, 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 da. And again, you do some doubling. Soprano 2, you start out doubling. Alto 1. So, sopranos and altos together. 1, 2, 3, and da, da. All 8 parts there. This is the pickup to the second measure on page 3. Bass, tenor 2, tenor 1, alto 1, alto 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of that right from the beginning, just the voice parts. 1, what? No, we've got a. Baritones are down at that end. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, soprano, alto, beginning. Let's see what happens if we do just that much with the piano. You will notice that the piano doesn't do a whole lot to help you. It's this beautiful sound underneath you. Oh, okay. Which one would you like? I can make as many mistakes on either part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, beginning, and. All right. So it gives you a little idea of how it all hangs together. One of the things that we're going to start doing, probably not next week, but the week after that, is we're going to start having smaller sectional rehearsals a little before the beginning of rehearsal. So probably that first week that we do it, which again probably won't be next week, but we'll probably start the week after, though who knows, maybe next week. We'll probably do sopranos and altos from 7 to 7:30. Then tenors and basses will join in. And then the next week we'll do the opposite, tenors and basses from 7 to 7:30, then everyone else, which will give us a chance to really focus in on the stuff. Yes?
We aren't going to be doing this in German, correct?
No. This we will do in English.
Okay, because I was going to say a lot of the slurs are written for the English text. So it's going to be interesting to.
Yes, it might be helpful to cross out the German in this one.
Or if you're not for a base, write in the English. Because we don't have our own text.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it was published in both German and English, because MacDowell, I mean, he was a Boston composer. It was probably because it opened up another market and more chances of getting, people to buy the piece. So, terrific. Liebeslieder number 6. This is the one that starts with surprise, surprise, tenors. And this is very playful. And eventually we'll do lots of stretching with the tempo and things like that, but tenors. Da, da, ba, ba. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Da, 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 da. good. And then tenors in their little bit, sopranos and altos from where you come in measure 12. 1, 2, 3, 1. Da, 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 and basses, da 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 da, measure 12. And 1. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Basses, altos, and sopranos from measure 12. 1 and 2 and. Good. Tenors lead us in. Da, da, from the very beginning. Da, da, ready, and. Da, 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 going on tenor bass. Da, 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 then we're back to tenors. So, tenor bass from measure 21. Da, 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 1 and da. Da, 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 sopranos and altos from the alto entrance in 25. 1 and da. Good. Tenors, all 4 parts, starting in measure 21. Bass, tenor, 1 and da. this next little bit, sopranos and tenors. Da, da, 1, 2, 3, tenor. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And bass and alto. Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, and da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Ya, da, dum, pa, 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 da, da, da. Then we turn the page, and, or actually, I'm not sure if you do on your page, but sopranos and tenors here, and starting in measure 70, whatever it is. Da da da, 1, 2, 3, and da 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 da. One more time, tenors and da 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 da. Sopranos, just listen to your line there. Ready, sopranos, and da 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 da. Altos and basses, 1 and 2. Da 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 da. Yeah, so basses get to the cadence before everyone else. Da da alto, so we get that nice grind of the E and the F there. Ready? Altos and basses again. Da da. 1 and 2. All 4 parts. Pardon? Ah, it should. Yes, that should go up to an F. Thank you. All 4 parts, starting with tenors. Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, and da. And then we get a repeat, and then going on after the repeat, we get back. Yeah.
We had that same cadence back in 69, 73, 73 and 74. Should that one also be called?
That should also, yes.
So 74 should be an F.
Yes, thank you. And then we get something that sounds very much like the beginning. Tenors in measure 87, 80, 89, wherever that, ready, and da, 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 da. beginning. Very beginning of number 6. Ready, 1 and 2. So a very charming little graceful piece. As is always the case, I send out that we're going to do a lot more music than we actually get through. I would like to just, before we do announcements, look at the vocal parts in the lullaby, just so you get a feel for that. And we'll just read right through the vocal parts here. And it starts with the altos. Altos are the star of this movement. You get the hit tune most of the time. So right at letter A. 1, 2, 3. Sweet, oh nice little lullaby, and get to highlight the altos. So, something that doesn't happen enough. I know there are a couple of announcements before we head off. Watch for notes, stuff I won't be quite so ambitious with the number of pieces that I put down. And also watch for whether or not we begin the sectionals next week or the week after. So.
Hello, can you hear me? Good. I learned last time. This is the second week of our ad campaign, and I think it's moving along very well. Just about all of the people who did ads last year, maybe all, have agreed to take on ads again this year. And we also have 3 people who didn't do ads in the past who have volunteered to help us out, so I'm pretty impressed with that. Thank you all. We're starting to get feedback that some of you have got ads out, and what I would like you to do is let me know. I'd like ideally that you could at least try contacting everybody on your list. Some of you have 1, some I know have 6. Let me know where you stand maybe in end of the week. You could just send me an email, or I had a log that you could fill out and attach. What's amazing is we already have 1 ad and payment already in, and this was from one of the new people did this. So let this serve as an example. I won't mention names. I want to remind you that we're doing it a little bit differently this year. Those of you who did it in the past, we had ads coming to Sandra, and then she would forward the ads to me, and then we had the checks and a form going to Nina, and that came to me. That was the theory, but it got very confusing. So we all agreed that everything should come to me. I may regret that, but I think that's the best way to do it. So my phone number and email address are on most of the items. I still have a number of possible businesses. I think 1 or 2 we've had in the past, and for whatever reason, we have no one assigned to them now. So I would encourage people who maybe only have 1 ad now or no ads now to take on one of these if you have the time. It's not hard. I thought of the analogy that we're not selling snake oil. We're trying to sell ads to the community, some of whom are your customers. So we are preaching to the choir. You get that one. So the deadline for this is October 25th. I'd like to have everything so I can give it to Sandra, who puts together the booklet. That sounds far away, but that's only 4 weeks away. And that's why I'm encouraging you to try to make your contacts this week, because you don't always get a hold of somebody the first time, and you may have to call again. At least try this week so you get the process going. And then hopefully by 2 or 3 weeks from now, we'll have most of them. If I haven't heard from someone that you think I should hear from, I'll let you know so that you can sort of prod them, because we do have to have it by the 25th in order to get the books, get their ads in the books in the first concert. So again, I think we're doing very well, and I just want to encourage you to, those of you who haven't, maybe to take on an ad and to get your contact information to me, say by next Monday. Anybody have any questions? All right, well, go team.
I just wanted to let folks know about a concert next Sunday, October 1st. We think it will be a better experience than a government shutdown, which is also scheduled for that day. We hope not. Anyway, this is a concert, an evening of American music, featuring the music of two composers. One of them is John Weaver, who was my older brother, who passed away a couple of years ago. And the other composer is William Cooper, who is the newly appointed director of music at the Wellesley Hills Congregational Church, where we do our concerts. The performers will be Joan Ellersick, who is a violist, who is the wife of the choral director and organist at our church, which is Christ Lutheran Church, and this is where the concert will be held, Christ Lutheran Church, 7 o'clock on October 1st, on Sunday, October 1st. Also appearing will be Ann Weaver, who is my wife and a flutist. And she and Tom Berryman will be performing a piece that was written by my brother John, whose wife was also a flutist. And it was written for her. Her name was Mary Ann. My wife's name is Anne Marie. Just seemed to be the thing in our family to marry flutists. But anyway, I do want to encourage you, if you're interested, to come out to Christ Lutheran Church in Natick. It's on Union Street, and it's next Sunday at 7 p.m.
And Bob, you said you brought a few flyers back, correct?
It's what?
Are there a few flyers out front? Copies of the flyer?
No, it's not a choir thing.
No, flyers.
I'm sorry, I have trouble hearing.
Poster, flyer.
Poster, flyer.
And,
Piece of paper. Oh, no, there is, yeah, the concert is free, but donations are encouraged in support of the East Boston Community Soup Kitchen. And so we hope that you can come out for that. Yeah. Thank you. By the way, I put some posters like this out on the table there, if you want to pick them up and put them somewhere where they can be seen. Thank you.
And we can send the poster out electronically as well, and I will do that as soon as, actually, I think you sent it to me this afternoon, so I'll get that out. When I get the updated email string, there we go. Did you have anything to say about dues deadline?
If there's anybody here who hasn't paid their dues, please do so. Next week is our deadline. Thank you. The rest I will contact first.
Other than that, I don't have anything. Help yourself to chocolate, biscotti, and mint or caramels out there, and be careful in the slippery parking lot.
Thank you,
Anything
everyone.
else?
Thank you very much. Oh. Oh, this is great. Thank you very much. I'm not sure where I got that from. I'll have to.
She doesn't very much, so it's a nice opportunity to thank you.
Oh, thank you.